Hey guys, Jordan with Little Joyce here, and today I'm going to actually show you a very cheap and effective $60 keto diet grocery haul. Now, the thing is, a lot of people on Instagram have been asking me about the diet for the simple fact that my wife and I have lost quite a bit of weight from it, and I always like to post what I'm cooking on there. And so the questions are like, hey, so what do I get on the diet? You know, what can I get? What can I not eat? And I plan on showing that today. Now, this won't be a what is the keto diet video or how to start the keto diet or things along those lines. You can find that information everywhere via Google search, YouTube, all that jazz. And there are people who can explain it 10 times differently than I can. But today I'm just going to show you the actual grocery haul I do, and it's only going to be for $60. So let's get to it. My God, it's freaking hot out here. Jesus. Oh, it's like a sauna. I mean, it's so, oh my God, I gotta, golly. Ooh, Lord have mercy. It does not make sense how hot it is. I know it's summer, but geez, it's like 80 something outside, but I swear it feels like 100, and then my car, it feels like it's 200. So let's get rolling, because I can't be outside all day. I'll melt. As my wife says, I'm dark chocolate. And just to show you guys, I'm doing this with no more than $60. No card, no nothing. Just straight cash, 60 bucks at the store. And that's what's going to determine how much I can spend, so that way I can say, oh, it was actually $70, $80, but no, $60, let's go ahead and see what I can do. Because a lot of diets are really expensive sometimes, and I get that question a lot. How much does this typically cost you in groceries? Now, I usually shop at Kroger, but the thing is, with my wife and I adjusting finances and everything else, we found it more physically responsible to go shop at Aldi for what we want. Now, I'm not saying Kroger isn't bad or they're too expensive, but there are some things that are cheaper there, and I'm going to do my entire grocery shopping list at Aldi. As you can see, when it comes to food safety, I take it very, very seriously. Wrap up both my boxes with the seat belts, like that, and boom. And guys, I kind of messed up a little bit when it came to this grocery shopping. I'll explain that when I get home, but for right now it's hot. I'm going to get these windows down, start cruising. But this mistake actually turned out well in my favor. Now, when it comes to doing research about the keto diet, I feel that it's best to look at multiple sources for information, for the simple fact that there are people, in my opinion, who try to like overcomplicate things, who try to make themselves sound like they're all sciencey, and who over-explain things or under-explain things. And the keto diet, in my opinion, is super, super simple. Once I understood the concept of it, I got it. Like, I fully 100% was like, oh, that makes sense. And in my opinion, when it comes to doing the keto diet, I'm not going to say that if you're not tracking macros and weighing out food and blah, 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 that you're immediately wrong and your diet's wrong, but it does help, in my opinion, to know exactly what you're eating, how much of it you're eating, and keep track of what you're eating, for the simple fact that if you start realizing, hey, I'm not really losing weight, or hey, I might even be gaining weight, you can actually have a guide to look at and say, hey, this is exactly what's going on, this is what I need to check, I'm eating too much, I'm eating too little, or whatever the situation may be. My fats aren't high enough, my protein's too high, whatever the case is. In my opinion, when people don't track their food, it's hard for you as a person who's been going through keto for a while to give them advice on what to change or what to do next. So I mean, when it comes to this diet, I feel it's simple, but you need to know first what you're doing, and I feel that tracking it and counting is the best way. Now, not saying if you're eating healthy food that you're doing it wrong. I just feel that it can actually aid you to full success. I wonder if we should look into these houses. Things are huge. I like it. See, if my wife was here, this would be a lot simpler, but she's not. And typically, I carry in all the groceries anyway. Now, as I said before, I kind of messed up a little bit. And what I mean by that is I told you all I was going to spend $60 at Aldi to get groceries. And I was like, once I got to the checkout line, I was like, oops, I guess I'm going to have to retitle this video. Because for the simple fact that going to Aldi and getting everything I got with that huge box of food, which I'm going to show you that in a second, didn't really cost me $60. Instead, it actually cost me $42.84. So you can't beat saving money. So I'm curious how am I ever going to title this video. Will I keep it like keto shopping under 60 bucks or what? Alright, so let's see exactly what I got for 42 bucks. Okay, now, just as a disclaimer, my wife and I already had a few things that was already in here. But what I got were these green beans, 2 things of asparagus, celery, blueberries, what is this? You can find out later. Bratwurst, this giant thing of red meat that I'll actually be cutting up and freezing most of it. Cilantro, I already had this thing of cheese, but I got that one. Bacon, which you probably heard so much about on keto. 2 big old things of chicken thighs. 2 cartons of eggs. Flour, broccoli, fajita peppers, and what else did I get? And this almond milk. Now, the things that I already had were this chicken stock whenever I cook with it. The butter. Now, this fridge doesn't look all that, much. But my wife and I, when it comes to, we like to do a lot more freezer stuff. So, granted, I already had some of this beef, but I'll be making that soon. I already have frozen spinach. This is salmon here. Just a little bit fresh cut okra. Already some freezer. Wow, I can't talk. Already some frozen green beans. And then when it comes to doing what's called keto rice, as some people call it, is if you take cauliflower and chop it up real fine, you can actually create rice. Now, typically, if you were to go buy riced cauliflower, it costs almost the same as just getting regular cauliflower, but I actually like to cook cauliflower 2 different ways. And then down here in the back, just some mixed vegetables, things along those lines. Now, thing is, this was a light shopping trip for us. Oh yeah, another thing of frozen chicken. But this was a light shopping trip for us for the simple fact that I want to have my wife come and get a few more things, which we'll probably spend the extra $60 with, and go from there. And my wife will come with me so she can actually pick out a few other things. That way I can make sure the list isn't just biased towards me, but she has things that she likes as well. But I mean, really, keto is such a simple thing. And I actually just wanted to show you all these magnets she keeps collecting. That's Chloe from The Pet's Life or something like that. And of course, Lilo and Stitch. This, Dory. She has this weird thing with mermaids. I don't understand what it's about. Demo Cat. We're not getting political, but she likes that. And then aerial drawing, which actually is also hanging in our room. More mermaid stuff. And then another thing about cats. And then another thing about cats. And then more cats. I don't know if you noticed, but my wife likes cats. And what she does, she'll actually write herself a motivational letter of what she hopes to accomplish by the next year. So I haven't read it. I'm curious about it, but I always have to wait. You all aren't here for me to show off what's on my fridge, but more of what's in it. So let's get down to it. I'm going to actually give you a little breakdown of how to do the keto diet, and then show you recipes, things along those lines. And I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll start doing stories about showing what I'm cooking. This diet is so simple but so delicious. Like, you will honestly love doing this. As I said before, a food scale is your best friend when it comes to the keto diet. It's super simple to use. For one, I like to use either grams or ounces, so it's as simple as turning it on, putting your food inside of a container, and just weighing it, and then boom, there you go. Now, this app is actually called Carb Manager Keto Low Carb Diet Tracker. I don't know if it's available for Apple, but it is available for Android. I love this thing. It's absolutely a must. And as you can see, you'll see a whole bunch of other ketogenic things. I don't know. Oh, that's supposed to be intermittent fasting. That's a little bit much, but keto diet for beginners. There's so much in terms of information out there that I feel that if you don't know where to start, Google is your best friend. YouTube's your best friend. And as you can see, there's really nothing I've been tracking today for the simple fact I've been fasting this morning, which I'm about to break that very, very soon. But it's very simple. You just go to the plus, and let's say you had, let's pick cut leaf spinach. So once you've actually weighed your food, you'll go to whether you use grams or ounces, and let's say it came up to, I don't know, 4 ounces, let's do 4¼ ounces. What this tracker does is that it will show you how much in terms of protein and how much in terms of carbs you're consuming. And then at the top here, if you can see, I'm trying to get the focus a little bit. At the top here, actually show you your graphs of how much you still have left to consume. And then you just click add today, go back, and then it shows you, your net carbs, which for me is going to be 38. Your total carbs that you consumed. Now, net carbs versus total carbs are when you take the carbs that are on the nutrition label and subtract the fiber. Very simple. Your fats, proteins, and then calories for the day. And then as you can see here, it goes through breakfast, lunch, things along those lines. And then you can also add notes. And then also, look at that, whole bunch of recipes. But literally, I discover stuff so much when it comes to this app. And it's not sponsored or anything like that. I wish it was. But when it comes to keto recipes, you can't beat it. You truly can't. Now, when it comes to the keto diet, or any diet for that matter, I feel that exercise is number one. I mean, it doesn't make sense to, eat healthy and then not really do much with it, because since you're going to be calorie deficient, meaning consuming less calories, less carbs, less sugars than you normally would, it's time to really burn that off. What I recommend is that when it comes to doing workouts, it should be more of like circuit training. Now, for me personally, I do a lot of like bodybuilding stuff. I do a lot of heavy weights, which is great. But my wife is going to be doing circuit training, elastic bands, things along those lines, the treadmill, lifting some weights, because I feel that doing a lot of good cardio, circuit training, more of a routine in terms of workout really helps give you that edge. Now, granted, if your job is you work at Amazon and you walk that warehouse every day, that's a heck of an exercise to do. If your job is, truck driving, try to at least get some form of physical activity in before your shift or after your shift, or, if you're, got a family at home and they consume some of your time, see if you can buy a cheap treadmill, throw it in the basement. Or what I used to do at my grandfather's house was he had a treadmill in the living room. He had a really big living room. TV at the end. When I watch TV, I'm on the treadmill. And before I know it, 40, 50 minutes have passed, and I'm like, oh, time for me to get off. Which is why I put a TV in here for my wife for when she's on the treadmill, for the simple fact that time will go by so quickly when your mind is taken off the fact that you're working out and you're watching television, you're watching your favorite YouTube channel, or whatever the situation may be. For me, when I go to the gym without music, it's like, it's a hard thing to do, because my mind, granted I'm focused on working out, but I find it difficult to really get that energy and that flow going when, I'm not listening to Excision, blasting in my ear, and every time the bass drops, I lift a little bit harder and stuff like that. But I believe that working out is key to success, 100% key. Now, some people say, well, you don't really need to work out that much. I'm not saying you have to be an Olympian or anything along those lines, but I am saying that it will help.